I really just dove in on human behavior. And so that's how that transition started. And what happened with my divorce clients, they were always entrepreneurs, high-level CEOs. They would have this aha moment and be like, this has nothing to do with my divorce, right? And I'm like, oh, you get it. Like, my work here is done, right? So then they started referring me to non-divorced people who would go through, and that's how we actually, my team and I coined the phrase of like, divorce is not just marital. You can have a divorce of a business partner or empty nester syndrome, or people often say like midlife crisis. And I'm like, no, it's not a midlife crisis. It's just a midlife awakening. You've been told who you have to be all your life, and you wake up one day and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. That's not who I am. But people don't have the skill set to figure out who they are and discover. So they do sex, drugs, rock and roll instead of digging deep and doing the hard work, right? That's the crisis part where they know they're not in alignment with themselves, but they don't know how to fix it. So
my personal belief is that you only have the energy to really excel in like one area. And so if you're fighting bad energy at home,
yes,
you're never going to excel at work. It's because your spirit only has a finite amount that it can be tapped into at any given time. And so if things are going south at home, then you're not going to be able to use that energy that you're using to try to keep this relationship or this, disharmony, whatever it is in your life.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to take that and apply it to your work and to your success in life.
Yep.
Because it's tapped already.
Yep.
I was victim of that for a long time of trying to separate work and home, and literally having multiple conversations with you and other people of it, and coming to that understanding and realization that everything that happens in your life affects the rest of your life, whether it is your relationships with your your colleagues and your peers at work or your relationships at home. You're going to carry that with you. And if you don't deal with your shit, for lack of better words, like it's going to come out in weird ways.
Well, one of my favorite phrases is you have to feel to heal, right? Like, we've got to address our stuff. We want to just stuff this stuff away and pretend that it's not an issue. And then that comes out in road rage, right? And it comes out at the most inopportune time, and usually the most embarrassing times, right? Or you're in a board meeting and somebody says something and you snap at them and it's totally over the top and everybody's like, what in the hell, right? Like, get your crap together. But without dealing with that stuff, it's going to spew out on everybody around you. It just does. It's inevitable.
I think one thing that has happened from a result of having you on, as our leadership coach at Bartlett, is that in that time, in the last year since we've had you on, when stuff like that happens and people are popping off, or you notice like something's going on, you're like, okay, what's really going on with you? Because I know it has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Yes.